what does this weekend look like, TJ? What do we have here?
You mean outside of like just a dominant Cowboys victory? What does it look like?
Oh,
like, is that what you mean?
So Ashton, I guess then give me set the scene of what's going to look like for the two of you guys this weekend. What do you got for me?
It's going to be on the couch. TJ's going to be wearing his silly chef's cowboy outfit, I'm sure, and trying to convince my son to become a Cowboys fan, which is never going to happen.
I try hard at that.
We'll be post up. And here's what generally happens is TJ and I will sit there for about 2.5 hours and really maybe talk like a total of like 2 minutes within that 2.5 hours. And just watch the game. We actually won't talk to each other. We'll just yell at the television screen.
Pretty much.
And then my wife will come in and ask why we watch football together because we don't even have a conversation. And then I'll have to explain to her that for us, watching the game is like going to the movies. You don't talk during the movie.
No.
You talk after the movie about what the movie was about. And then that'll be a whole situation. Look. Here's what I'm looking forward to in this game. I actually think the two teams are extraordinarily well matched. I think it's going to be a good game. I do worry, though, that the Bears are working on a short week, and it's 2 road games in a row. And I had someone counsel me once that you never want to bet on a team that's playing their second road game in a row because, that's tough. So I'm hoping for the best and expecting the worst going into the weekend.
So what do you make of that that idea, TJ, or that whole, I guess, supposition of what this weekend's going to look like? Is it true you'll sit there and you won't say a word?
Yeah, we generally tend not to. We're two people who like are into the game, so we don't talk a lot during a game that's on. We'll just, like you said, let it play. But Coach, Rich is he's kind of interested in where we're going to watch the game. So I told him about the barn, and he's just like, he can't wrap his mind around the barn. So maybe you want to explain that to him.
Well, I mean, my wife and I built a house, and there's a room that is it's a large room in the barn, which is just adjacent to the house, and it's got a very large screen that will be dedicated to the game. And then there's a bar in the other room. So there's basically a bar and a TV room for, watching the game. So we'll be in there.
So, and again, it's
what do you want me to explain about?
No. But that's a good question. I honestly wasn't going to ask that, TJ. But now that we're there,
you had brought it up many times before.
But now that we're there, I mean, so again, this is just a sort of an aesthetic layout. There's not actually animals in this facility, correct?
There are no. It's like a converted barn.
Very good.
It's a barn that's been converted into like a bar / place to watch.
Beautiful. There's a barn, and then you remove the end. There's a bar in the barn.
In the barn.
But here's what I'm interested in here.
Okay.
Because you're assuming, TJ, this is a Cowboy victory.
Yeah.
No question, right? Like, this is a rollover. Dak was just getting warmed up against the Lions. He got his feet wet. He dipped his toe back in the NFL pool.
Rich.
Now it's going to be like a full-on cannonball for the Cowboys into this pool with Dak back and a bye week coming, and it's all good. What happens, though? Ashton Kutcher, with this whole, you're just watching the game, saying nothing. What if the Bears do lay it on the Cowboys in the same way they lay it on the Patriots, and you're up by like double digits? Third quarter, fourth quarter, and TJ is totally dying inside. Does that elephant in the room get addressed, Ashton Kutcher? Yes or no?
I'm not a rub it in kind of guy.
Okay.
I'm not going to like rub it in and grind it down. Like, I've had enough bad seasons with the Bears now that like I'm not here to like rub it in. Here's some interesting detail on the game.
Yes, sir.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
The Bears have recorded almost, I think, twice as many sacks this season as the Cowboys have. Our defense, and it really looked like our secondary was starting to gel against the Patriots. Now, it did help that they put Zappe in, which I don't know what Belichick was doing. I'm not here to question Bill Belichick, but I'm questioning Bill Belichick. But our secondary looks like it's gelling, and if that secondary is truly gelling, and our front four, although we did just get rid of Quinn, we did just make this trade for Robert Quinn to the Eagles. So I don't, if our front four can create pressure and we can get Dak a little bit, sideways. Look, I like the ground and pound Bears. What will really happen is if we are winning and we're winning like we were winning against the Patriots, I'll just start dissecting why we're winning and why we'll probably not win another game, even if we do win. Because it's like when it's your team, you can't help but dissect why the rest of the season is going to be terrible.
Where are you getting the Bears have more sacks than the Cowboys? What website did you get that from?
Well, I think we have like 27 sacks on the season.
No, we have 29, and you guys have, 12?
No, that can't be right.
See, I think
I'm pretty sure that's right.
I think one of us need to be there on Sunday to arbitrate this thing here.
Like Molly, we need to be in the middle of CA.
or maybe McCarthy.
Is that accurate data? What's the data? What's the real data? Tell me about it.
StatMuse.
Oh, that is the data. The Cowboys have 29 sacks and the Bears have 12.
Well, but you're looking at a different stat line than what I'm looking at.
I'm looking at NFL.com team stats.
Here's the deal.
I'm looking at NFL.com. It says the Bears have 27 sacks this season.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Lied to him.
You've given up 27 sacks.
I think
that's what you're looking at.
I think you're also looking at the 1985 version of the app that never existed. I don't know. It's entirely possible because the Bears are doing things that they haven't done before, like winning in New England. 1985 was also the last.
Throwing the football.
It's unreal, man. So maybe just McCarthy pulls a Belichick and puts Cooper Rush in the game out of nowhere. Say it was part of the plan. Maybe this is what the Bears do to other teams. You never know.
Rich, our entire friendship has been built upon the Bears and the Cowboys. When he and I first met randomly at a bar back in 2001, he randomly sat next to me. He's wearing a Bears hat, and then we started talking, actually yelling about football.
Yes.
That's how our friendship began. And when we lived with each other, it was when Emmett was chasing Walter Payton's rushing record.
Yeah.
So every Sunday, like this Cowboys whiteboard isn't new. I had a whiteboard way back then, and I would write Walter Payton's record and Emmett's record, and I would update it every Sunday morning, and I would sit it right by the TV. So every Sunday we'd watch football. He'd have to see like the Emmett yardage go up and up to overtake Walter, and I know he didn't really like that.
Damn, man, here we go.
But hold on. But the argument was whether Walter Payton or Emmitt Smith. Well, we put Jim Brown to the side. We said, okay, let's put Jim Brown in a class.
We know Jim Brown's there.
Like, who is the greatest running back of all time? This is our first conversation
that we ever had.
Only to be ended by a conversation that we had with Emmitt Smith, where we asked Emmitt Smith who the greatest running back of all time was, and he said Walter Payton.
Well, what's he going to say?
So,
I mean, of course he's going to say Walter Payton. Like, come on. But Emmett knew. He looked at me and he winked.
He could have just said me, but he didn't, TJ.
Because he wanted to be respectful, man. And he look, did Emmett say Walter Payton? Yes. Did he mean it? No.
Excuse me. I've met Emmitt Smith many, many times, and he's no wallflower. Certainly when he's pounding the table for his own accolades, he would have said me if he really meant it. I think he actually meant Walter Payton.
He couldn't have.
That's what I'm saying. TJ, if you ask who the most handsome guy in our fantasy football league is, I'm going to say me. Even though you want it to be you, I'm going to say me.
Fantastic.
Well, now that Jordy's out of the league, it might be you. I don't know. Eric Dane might have something to say about that.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Might be. Only one guy in the league used to be a model, and that's me.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.